we're here in Miami. Did you honestly think that you would be here 4 months ago?
I mean, I've said this before. I felt like when we had a chance to draft Nick, after everything that we did in the offseason with getting D and just pulling some things together, I thought we had a chance to compete.
Yeah. Are you enjoying this ride right now?
It's been fun, but I've been here before and not finished it, and you have to be really focused this week. You have to stay set to your task, and hopefully we finish it.
What changed? You have been here before. You just mentioned it. What's changed? What's different for you personally from 7 years ago when you were last in the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's, when you say that, if you say you're in the Super Bowl once every 7 years, most fan base would be pretty happy. Like the valley that we went to from the two peaks was probably not a fun journey. But the biggest thing to me is really putting together an organization, from Kyle and John all the way down that embodies what it means to be a 49er. And, what my uncle and what Bill Walsh kind of instilled, when they started in the late 70s and made their run in the 80s and 90s. That's the thing that's most important to me, is trying to put a team together, an organization together that has that spirit and that camaraderie.
I know you told me a couple months ago the best thing you're doing this season is just staying away, letting your people do it for you. I think that's being a little modest on your end, but is that kind of the approach that you want to take publicly?
I mean, it's the approach that I've always wanted to take. I want to have good people do their jobs, and I want to make sure that they have all the resources that they need to get their jobs done. That's always how I've approached this. It's great to be able to work with John and Kyle, because I think they're the best at what they do, and they're an unbelievable team, and I wouldn't want to work with anybody else. You
brought up your family, of course your uncle and Bill Walsh as well, but what about your parents? I've known them over the years. Is it special for them? Are they enjoying this?
Yeah, I mean, after my brother, it's certainly been a long ride kind of back to whatever the new normal is. So it's been special kind of dedicating this season to Tony and getting to this point.
You said something in the locker room last year when you guys were 4-12, and you said this will be for Tony. If we win the Super Bowl, we're gonna do it for him. You're almost there.
We're almost there. We got one more to go, and a lot of it goes back to Bill Walsh. I mean, he talked about champions behave like champions before they're champions. And the other thing that he said that I think is very pertinent to this week, after we beat Dallas in the catch game, we're champions today, but we've got one more to go. And those two things keep kind of ringing in my head about this team right now and just what we need to do and how we need to finish.
I know players get into it during the week, coaches get into it. What does an owner and CEO get into during the week?
It's funny. My uncle was reaching out to me the week of the championship game, and we'll text and email and talk a little bit, and he was just like, I know what you're going through. Just try not to go too crazy. And it's hard at this point because there's really nothing left you can do. And you have to try to meditate, you have to try to exercise and work out and just try to remain focused and just know that your guys are going to take care of it.
Game day ritual the night before a game? Do you have anything?
No. I just try to be around friends and family, and that's really the most important thing to me.